Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Mewtalisk's Cat of Nine Tails, Mewtalisk, the Cat of Nine Tails, and the Cat of Nine Tails run. Last time I was here, I cleared out the lair and put on an Amulet of Faith, picked up Ignite Poison, and Animate Dead. Now, I have to decide where to go next. In any given run of Dungeon Crawl, you will have a slime pits in the lair, and you may have a snake pit, a swamp, or you will have the snake pit, the swamp, or the shoals. Two of the three. So, in other words, whenever the shoals does spawn, you will only get either the swamp or snake pit. The swamp and the snake pit are by far easier than the shoals, and the slime pits are, I'm not sure whether they're easier or harder, but they're both really hard compared to the shoals. So, I only ever really attempt the swamp and the snake pit, and then, gingerly walked into the shoals only to run out when I realize I'm screwed. Which happens all the time. The snake pit requires poison resistance. No getting around it. The swamp benefits a lot, but I was willing to try without it, given how summoners work. Snake pit, I'm not even going to set foot in unless somebody gives me some reason to believe that the poison isn't going to be an issue. Now, Ignite Poison within the snake pit sounds like incredible fun, so I really would like to get in there at some point. But in deciding what to do now, I'm a level 13 character. My spell castings and summonings are really high powered. In fact, hang on just a moment. I'm going to turn off Necromancy when it hits level 5. My spell castings and summonings are very powerful, and if you actually just look at the straight up power of my spells, you'll see that for the most part, the spells I'm actually using, Ice Beast and Scorpions, are really, really powerful. Shadow Creatures, doesn't matter, it's always powerful enough, and all my level 4 and under spells are hungerless. So really, I'm in really good shape, just to fight. So I'm going to go to the Orcish Mines. Hopefully while I'm in the Orcish Mines, I'll be able to, using the Amulet of Faith, get enough piety built up to get the last gift from Behemoth, so I can stop worrying about piety for the rest of the game. And, actually, this would be a good time to ignite their poison. Oh, crap, oh no, the poison doesn't affect me, thank God. That's interesting, poisonous corpses light on fire. But yeah, I'll take off the Amulet of Piety once I get the next book out of Vehumet, and, I'll let him take his dear sweet time giving me the Conjuration books, which I have much less interest in. Orcish Mines. So, interesting, or important things to bear in mind when doing the Orcish Mines as a Felid. Unlike characters that unlike most of my characters where you take a bunch of scrolls of magic mapping, you take a bunch of wands of digging or other means of digging, and you can get around the fact that it's formed out of discontinuous layers. As a Felid, you can't use the wands of digging at all, so you really are limited by whatever the structure of the dungeon is in terms of which areas you're going to get to visit and which ones you're not. Which kind of sucks, but, you deal with what you're given. Ephitic Knight. Yeah, getting Animate Dead was really nice. Notice that I'm currently fighting like a conjurer and not like a summoner. That's mostly because I know I can get away with it in like these one-on-one settings, and quite frankly, it builds my experience faster. So while I can still afford it, I might as well. There we go. Ow! And also, I mentioned that hungerlessness of my spells, but I want you to realize that hunger is kind of a non-issue when playing a Felid, thanks to the fact that you can constantly be eating chunks even when you're full. Okay, that's one dead end, so let's try the other door, and crap, I entered a teleport trap. This is very significant because I am now cut off from the first region, and depending on whether or not there's an out staircase, I may or may not be able to escape. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. So far, so good. In fact, that's a good point. Let me recall all of my allies from the other half of the dungeon to this half. Oh, beautiful. There's an exit, so I can... Once I exit, I won't be able to return to this region because I'll always come in the first door, which is over here. So what I'm going to do is use this opportunity to explore this branch, which I might not be able to reach again later. Without, you know, a lucky teleport, of course. Okay, this does not look like a too intense scenario. Let's go ahead and summon some allies. I think another ice beast is in order. At this point, I'm very much holding myself in. My scorpions should be able to fight these orcs fairly efficiently, but I can't afford to step out and take them on. And unless a priest shows up, there's no harm in being, like, nicely sequestered like I am here. So, that's the plan. Ooh, too good to pass up. Yeah, sure, it catches one of my scorpions, but it also catches, like, 3 of them. And that was the Vehumet god gift that I needed. Ooh, it actually was a useful book. Book of Summonings. Abjuration is something I definitely want to have. Summon Demon and Elemental I can work with or without, so let's just go without for now. So Abjuration. Given Abjuration keys off of your summoning ability, the better a summoner you are, the better your Abjuration. I'm such a good summoner that I should be able to basically unilaterally remove other summoned creatures from the game in one cast. Okay, there we go. That undead army is gonna cover my need for the rest of this floor, basically. Let them do their thing. I don't even need to join in. But yeah, the power is definitely going well here, and that's something. Again, I didn't make this clear. The reason I wanted to clear out the Orcish mines is twofold. Firstly, getting the last book or 2 out of Vehumet is always nice, and this is a quick piety booster. You don't lose piety in the Orcish mines, you gain piety, because you have easy enemies to kill, and many of them in a row, with minimal resting time required for you to lose piety in between. So that's one. Second reason I wanted to go here first is because if you actually manage to successfully clear the Orcish mines, there's a minimum of 4 stores, I believe, on the bottom floor, and a maximum of upwards of, I mean, not maximum, but you can easily have upwards of 8. And it's something, and there's also a lot of gold to be had here. Put it all together, there's a good chance I might get a useful artifact amulet or something, or a ring that boosts my power notably, or hell, just any form of poison resistance I can actually make use of. And any of these things would be a real step up for me. Okay, so I have now cleared out this sub-pocket, and it is disconnected from the one that I would be able to enter normally. So I'm going to continue exploring this sub-pocket before I go all the way out and then go down that side. Again, difference between playing a field and... Oh my god. 17 orcs, 6 priests, 2 wizards. If they all simultaneously decided to smite and they all hit, that would be upwards of 90 damage. There's nothing I can do to beat these guys. I need to retreat and pray it works while they're all, like, still not paying attention to me. There's really no other option. Yeah, that was the best thing I could have done. Yeah. Which kind of sucks, because that looks like one of those pockets I won't be able to reach otherwise. But no matter. Let's try again with this side. And this time I'm going to actually pull up a few of these guys with me, just so the undead on the floor above can make short work of them. and then repeat. God, it's so simple when it comes off like that. Alright. There we go. And then there was one. Notice that one priest alone was enough to deal 16 damage in one hit. So, naturally, I kind of shat my pants when I saw that many on the floor, on the lower segment. Okay, I'm going to have to retreat at this point. I've reached the bottom that I can reach from here. Too bad. That's every pathway in that side of the dungeon. Now let's try the main dungeon. Huh. Interesting. It didn't... I did... where did it... But I'm so confused. How did I get to that side if I didn't... Okay, hang on. I gotta figure this out. So if I go down here... I thought it was gonna put me here. But instead it put me here. Oh, okay, gotcha. So there was 2 staircases that I only got to one of them? Yeah, there are 2 staircases. Okay, cool. In which case, let's go down this one, which is connected here, which is a new place. Much less scary than what I saw the first time. I'm going to go ahead and Mephitic in this direction to take care of the special guy. Then I'm going to go upstairs to bring out 2 orcs with me, 2 at a time. Bring back the armada. Make sure to bring a few meat shields down with me before I... Ooh, crap. If I go upstairs, I will in most likelihood die because there's no way I'll take less than 29 damage. If I stay here, I'm going to die because there's no way I'm going to be able to avoid that much damage. So, I'm pretty screwed. I should not have made that decision. I can blink all the way to here and then try to survive by Mephitics and by the skin of my teeth. Or I can go upstairs and take my chances that they all miss. Which is actually, neither of those is a bad idea. I mean, neither of those is a good idea, but neither of them is a bad idea. I think I'm going to go with the blinking idea, because I'm more confident in my ability to fight than I am in my ability to stand there and tank damage. First things first, I need a screen of summons, like, immediately. And as soon as that screen is up, I'm going to need the strongest summons I can get, which would be ice beasts, and lots of them. I just got smited. Somehow I'm in range of a priest. That's not acceptable. Crap. Fire. I'm gonna teleport while I still have the opportunity. I mean, this is not going well. No matter how you slice it, it's not going well. I'm not sure where that teleport just took me. I think it just took me around this corner, so I'm literally in the exact same area I just was. I'm gonna quaff the heal wounds and run for the staircase. Good. Good. I made it out. So get a few polar bears behind me. And that did not work, so bring... Oh, the undead can't come upstairs either. You know what I need to do? I need to tell all of my allies to, like, stop attacking and just wait in one place. Then summon some new ones adjacent to me that I can bring down with me. There we go. Okay. What we're gonna do here is ignite poison as a fire cloud, and hopefully that will help do the area effect damage I need in order to stay alive. Yeah, okay. I take back everything I said about not being sure whether or not that was a useful tactic. Mephitic plus ignite poison is fucking devastating. Like, I'm not playing like a summoner as much as I ought to be right now, considering my optimization, but who cares? It's getting the job done beautifully. Okay, So, net result, I did not die. I used up the teleport scroll and a blink scroll to stay alive. I'll take that. It's not as good as I'd like, but I'll take it. And now I'm on the bottom floor of the Orcish Mines. For those of you not familiar with this area, it is extraordinarily dangerous no matter how powerful you are. You can always find yourself in a bad situation very quickly here, and so it pays to be very cautious. Of course, for those of you not familiar with Felid summoners, I have multiple lives. Okay. I just sent in a swarm and it looks like they're doing fine. And now I got more undeads, which is even better. You know what? These guys turn invisible, and when they do, my minions stop chasing them. Because I can see the invisible, but my minions can't. That's actually a constant pain in my back. I don't know how to deal with that yet, as a pure summoner. Okay, so far I've done a very good job carving a nice little niche out for myself. And oh, hello! A dark tunnel. I've never been inside a tunnel. Let's go inside. Okay. This tunnel looks like it's on fire. I don't have a clue where I am or what to do about it. It looks like I'm in the middle of a volcano. And there's a ball of fire right to the side of me. I'm using up healing like crazy, quaffing a potion of resistance to gain some resistance to fire immediately, and healing, but I'm constantly taking damage. Note to self, never enter a volcano again. I lost several scrolls in there. I still can blink apparently, which is nice. I also lost all of my heal wounds potions, so that's the top of my shopping list if I get the chance to get more. And ultimately I didn't even see an enemy. It was just the physical fire that dealt me so much damage. I mean, of all the stupidity to start on top of a conjured flame. Okay. Thus far, everything seems to be going hunky-dory, considering it's the 4th floor, where everything goes wrong, usually. I've explored most of it, which also leads me to believe that the really dangerous part, wherever it may be, I haven't reached yet. Usually there's one area where, you know, you get the higher level enemies all in a nice tight area, and you have to approach very carefully in order to do well. I found multiple up staircases. That's always a plus. Of course, I'm not finding the fortress, and without the fortress, I don't have any shops, which kind of pisses me off, because that was the whole point of coming. There it is. I see metal. Where there's metal, there's a fort. Yeah, I just mephitic fired, I'm gonna call it. Just, you know, what as crowd control goes, it's a pretty awesome idea. Okay, necromancy hit 5, turning it off. And at this point, I'm not going to optimize for either spellcasting and summoning are both fine. Ooh, what's that? Did I miss a book? No, it's the god gift. Okay, good. So that should be the last of the summoning god gifts. Incidentally, it also means I can't be quite so cavalier with igniting, lest I accidentally ignite that book on fire. I have to be very cautious. not to do that. Which just means play more like a summoner and less like a conjurer for a few turns. So, you know, no real loss. Boom. Not the right button. There we go. Okay, there's a lot of priests here, so I really got to make sure that they don't do exactly what they just did and smite me. Okay, got it. The final book is the Grand Grimoire, which has, oh my lord, amazing spells. Some of these are better than others, some of them are good, some of them are great. I don't intend to go the haunt route, so I'm not going to use that. Demonic Horde is basically summon imp on crack. It summons multiple imps, I forget how many exactly. And here, let's actually just read the description together, shall we? This spell calls forth a small swarm of small demons to do battle with the caster's foes and sometimes with each other. Bahamut supports use this spell. The problem with it is the imps it summons are all like low-level imps, equal to summon imp or worse, and sometimes they're not loyal. So it's kind of a pointless spell considering that I'm so far past that power level now, in my opinion. Summon Greater Demon does exactly what it sounds like. It summons one of the bigger demons, top 2 tiers of demons. Very powerful, very dangerous. The problem is that it is guaranteed that they will eventually turn on you, and that's a bit of a pain in the ass. The higher your power, the less that happens. I've never experimented with it, so I don't know how easy or hard it is to use, but not something I'm going to invest in right now. So what else is there? There was one that I wanted to show you. Summon Ugly Thing summons a very fat creature to your aid. And I say fat lovingly, as in it's a powerful, bulky creature. It's E that really impresses me. Summon Horrible Things. This spell opens a gate to the abyss and calls through one or more hideous abominations from that dreadful place. The powers who answer this invocation require of casters a portion of their intellect in exchange for this service. What this guy does is summons a group of abominations, which are basically very high AC, very high hit dice, very high damage creatures. That come to your service. The upsides and downsides of it, though, are pretty straightforward. It has a % chance to take 1 point of your intelligence away temporarily. The abominations don't last forever. They're really strong, but they don't have any special talents. Personally, it's my choice for a level 8 damage spell for a summoner, but I'm kind of far away from being able to use that right now anyway, so I'm not going that route yet. It's two things. Firstly, if you look at its castability, it's all the way down here by, was it Malign Gateway? Summon Horrible Things. It's all the way down here by Good, which isn't very high up. It's good enough, but not very high up. And secondly, it costs 8 spell levels, so I'm a ways away from wanting or needing it. When I eventually start traversing the deeper areas of the dungeon or the vaults, I will be in need of something a bit stronger than my current repertoire of summons, and I'll probably want to go with that. But for now, I'm content to do what I have been doing. And oh my god, that smiting is such a pain in the ass. But the good news is, it seems like we've cleared out the vast majority of what I had to face. I'm going to go ahead and remove the Amulet of Faith now. Notice what happens to my faith when I do. I lose a lot of it. But it's worth it because Bahamut does not give you consistent gifts or anything. Like, you know, armor or weapons, etc. He just gives you 6 books. And I already have the 3 that I really need from him. So instead of having to... So eventually I'm going to have to take this off when I find something better. Might as well do it sooner while I'm still here and potentially can get back more piety against these easier level enemies than later when I will have to do it against top level enemies. I find it hilarious that I'm more concerned about an orc priest than I am about the fucking orc warrior and knight. Though I kind of have to be, because ultimately the priest is the one who has the best burst damage. Oh no! This is a nasty place to come up when you have no mana. This place is actually going to be worse though, isn't it? Yeah, this place is probably going to be somewhere in this room. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. Let's just keep running backwards. Do I have any minions left? I don't have any minions left to recall. They all died in that last fight. Dead. Okay, recovering MP and then going back into the fray. And I am building up a small cache of followers here, just, you know, just so that I have them around. There we go. That's a significant amount of minion power. Hopefully, between a lot of them, they'll be able to do some serious damage. Oh yeah, they were definitely able to do a lot of damage. Notice, by the way, I had said it earlier that polar bears had a lot of not polar bears, ice beasts had a lot of longevity in terms of how long they lasted. Well, take a look at how much more it is now than it was earlier, when now that my spell power is higher. These guys are effectively, they last almost as long as my, in combat, they last as long as my undead minions, who, you know, undead minions technically last forever, but in practice they die fairly easily. And they don't regenerate, so they're constantly losing, whereas my ice beasts, they just are on a clock. Where's that corpse? I saw a corpse. I want one of those. It's just so I can eat. Okay. I think this floor is mostly covered at this point. Still got this guy, but while we're imagining miracles. I'm beginning to see the beauty of using a Mephitic Cloud into poison. It's a very effective 1-2 punch, because you start off by clouding him, and assuming that the cloud takes right away, what happens is he's immediately confused, but if you attacked him with the cloud, with him in the center of the cloud, he's also completely surrounded by the remaining gaseous clouds. And then what you'll do is ignite the poison clouds. So now he's confused, so he'll wander randomly with poison clouds in every direction around him. Alright, we need to kill this guy once and for all. I'm thinking recover mana, and then scorpions. Lots and lots of scorpions. Whoa, 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 whoa. Crap. That's what happens when you type too fast. Apparently the Cyclops spawned and threw 1, 2, 3, 4 rocks at me and I died. First death. Mewtalisk loses a life, loses a skill level. That's going to really hurt me in the long run, because it's going to be really hard to farm back all that life, especially considering that I'm killing by summons at this point in the game. Nevertheless, 1 life, 1 death. If I do level up again, I'll get back a life, hopefully. And the cat of 9 tails is one tail has now been told. But yeah, that was a fairly irritating death, to be completely honest, because it stems not from me making a bad tactical decision, but just from me typing too fast instead of, you know, stopping to realize after each hit, oh hey, there's a Cyclops throwing rocks at me. As you can see, the Cyclops is in no way a dangerous enemy when you're actually attempting to kill him, instead of just letting him do his thing. Sigh. I'm still kind of upset about it, that's all. Especially when you consider that now it undid so much leveling up because yeah, that one level of experience was not just any level, it was level 13 level experience, so it's going to take a while to get it all back. Yeah. Well, the good news is the trip to the Orcish mines, we've gotten not one but 2 god gifts, all the god gifts we really had left on the list as a summoner. So that's definitely something. And we still haven't even reached the stores yet, but I have 2,000 gold. So hopefully when I get there, I've got my fingers crossed on getting a nice amulet of some kind, something useful that I can continue to use for the rest of the game, or at least for a little while, or maybe some nice artifact ring. Whatever it is, it's going to be better than what I've got now. Though my ring of wizardry is helpful, I guess, so I'm being a bit too negative. Okay. That's half of this, and I see 2 orc knights and an orc high priest. I'm going shadow creatures here. That's my best bet. Hopefully I'll get enough of a swarm of orcs going that I can take on their orcs with mine. You I will kill straight up. I hate you so much. Like, I will stop to get you killed. That's how much I hate you. And I need to abjure now because it looks like... yeah, it looks like he's getting off successful summons. But, okay, good. The High Priest died. That's a huge feather in my cap that he actually went down. Retreating all the way to the actual safe staircase, wherever that is. My god, you're a persistent son of a bitch, aren't you? Come on. So, it looks like his Mephitic didn't last long enough for my taste, and I now need to abjure because he's got some really powerful hostiles nearby. Abjuration is such an awesome spell to use. I mean, especially when you're a high-level summoner like me, so you get, you know, a massive benefit out of it. Where's the orc zombie? I don't even see him. Oh, he's directly below me. Okay, there we go. I'm just abjuring every time I see him summoning, but now I realize that all my minions are dead. So, okay, good, he died. That was important. Otherwise, I would have had to go rest up, and by the time I came back, he'd probably be close to full health. You know, I just killed the High Priest. Do you think I'm scared of you? Idiot. Although I am at low food status, namely at full, as opposed to high, so let's go ahead and eat instead of raising the dead here. Okay, all of them are eaten, resurrected, and into the fray. Orc Knight, this calls for significant polar bear attacks. We call the polar bears in, and there's the stores. Let's see what we got. Magic scrolls, armor shop, book emporium. Books there's no point in. I have the ones I need. Armor I can't wear. Scrolls. Well, obviously I want blinking and teleport. There's never such a thing as too many of those. More scrolls that I don't need. Now I'm actually pissed. I went all the way through the orcish mines just hoping for one good ring. I've used a scroll of acquirement to try to get good jewelry, and I've picked up all the jewelry I found in the dungeon, and thus far, that's what I got. The Amulet of Faith, got it when I didn't need it anymore. Ring of Life Protection, utterly useless. Uncursed Ring of Ice, not useful because I'm not focusing ice or fire. Wizardry is always a nice thing to have, so I'm not going to complain too loudly about it. Sustenance I don't need because I can eat as much as I like. In short, this is a really lousy set of jewelry. Of course, that leaves me... Now I'm left with, another difficult choice. I could potentially... the choice being I need to figure out where I'm going to go next. For now, let's just go back to the dungeon. Oh, it's you. My, how I loathe you. 5 of you guys ought to do it. You gotta like how he managed to get 1 kill off even though he was Mephitic and up against 5 ice beasts. Okay. My possibilities are as follows. I can go straight to the Elven Halls and do my best to muck around there for a while. I can return to the main dungeon and try and go deeper with just what I've got already. I can go to the lair and attempt the snake pit, but I really think that's a bad idea. I think what I'm going to do is go to the dungeon and seek out the hive, or go to the Elven Halls and try for a piece of jewelry on the first floor. Those would be the options I'm choosing between, really. However, if I'm going to do the main dungeon, I really would like to have a top-level summon, namely, summon horrible things at my disposal. Somehow I've leveled up enough that I now have it at very good level, which is awesome. The problem is going to be getting rid of enough spell points worth of stuff to make room for it. I no longer need slow at all, so I can get rid of that easily. Magic Dart I still make extensive use of. Blink is still a good saving throw. Shadow creatures I don't like particularly, but I get a feeling that it's going to be that one spell that saves my life when I need it the most. Except now I'd be getting a level 8 spell, so I wouldn't really need a level 5 for a heavy-duty damage spell. I'm gonna have to think about this a bit more. Whether I want to get rid of Ignite... Getting rid of Ignite Poison makes sense, but this whole Mephitic Poison thing is so cool, I don't want to just drop it. So, I don't know. I need more spell levels! Yarr! Let's get rid of Call Imp for now. I cannot think of any reason that I keep that I would want to keep that spell. And the reason I'm going back here is because there are 2 ways to forget a spell and get the spell levels back. You can either use the book that it came in, and then sacrifice the book in order to drop the spell, or you can read a scroll of amnesia, and then choose to forget it. Looking over these, actually, I might as well use the Book of Minor Magic to get rid of it, because I'm not going to want anything else out of this book. People will probably tell me that I should get Repel Missiles out of it, but I don't know. I feel like having Cloud of Minions is better than having to spend mana constantly to keep that particular effect going. Yeah. And I'm just checking each of my books to see what other books might have the same ability. Ooh, that's interesting. The Incunabulum of Molding and Heat had Ignite Poison. So what I could do is sacrifice this book to get rid of it, and then if I ever want it back again, I can always use the Book of Wizardry, or not the Wizardry, the Book of Morphology to pick it up again. So let's do that. Use the Incunabulum. Forget this spell by destroying this book. Yes. Okay, I now have 6 spell levels. I need 2 more. And if I can get rid of the Summon Imp, whichever one that is, I should be able to do what I need. I think it's the Minor Magic book. Yeah, it's the Minor Magic book. Although, I should just use the Scroll of Amnesia at this point. No point cutting off my options for later. And while I'm content to lose that particular book, I don't want to lose my primary wizard spell book just yet. So let's use this book to get rid of Call Imp. Okay, I now have the 8 spell levels required to memorize a top tier attack, and I'm going to use that to memorize Summon Horrible Things. At least I think this is the spell I want. I hope that was it. Let's give it a whirl. Off to the dungeon. No. Off to the Elven Halls. Even better. We're gonna kill you orcs with it. Horrible things in 3, 2, 1. 4 abominations. Mindless, chaotic, large beings. Very resistant to hostile enchantment. And they're killing these guys in 1 hit each. I have a hunch I'm gonna like these guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. That concludes my time for now. Orcish mines have been cleared, and Mewtalisk is now on his first, has burnt out his first life. He is now on his second life. The Cat of Nine Tails continues. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you next time.